Alright, what's good, y'all? It's Chester Beats, and today I'm going to be doing like a beat deconstructed and just a breakdown of like all the music theory and just how I made this beat. So first I'm just going to play the beat and let y'all hear it. It's actually a really simple beat in terms of like making the melody, but it sounds full just because I like layered all the sounds.
Chester Beats.
So yeah, then it goes into the verse here and it just kind of like repeats itself like every other trap beat does. So for the main melody, this is what I have for the original MIDI before I half sped it. And then here's it without half speed. Which, if you want to know how to just like get the melody without half timing it, it's just it's gonna be these measures. Well, this is for if you have it on just standard 1 bar 2x half time. So it's gonna be that measure, that, and that, and then it's just gonna be like extended out. So it's just gonna be longer. So it's only gonna play those notes, which you can hear it if I have it on right here. Yeah, so if you wanted to have it, if you wanted to just adjust the MIDI, then you could just get those notes and then move them out. But I like putting halftime on it because it has the timbre of having notes at a higher octave, but then it just moves it down. And it has the reverb of some of the other notes, which makes it sound a little more spacey. So yeah, basically for this melody, I just had a D sharp minor chord, and then adding that F right there instead of an F sharp has like a little sus to it, so makes it a D sharp minor sus chord, which sounds like that. Which, if you want to form a sus chord, you either just have, instead of the third right there, you either put it to a major second or put it to a fourth. That sounds like a nice chord actually. Alright, yeah, so then it's just kind of arpeggiates a D sharp minor, goes from a D sharp to an A sharp, which when you're making melodies, it's good to arpeggiate chords because those are just really melodic intervals. So I have a D sharp going to an A sharp, which is a perfect fourth. Then I have the F sharp, which is the minor third of the chord, goes down to the F, which is the sus, then it goes up to A sharp, which is the perfect fifth of the original D sharp, and then it just goes down an octave to A sharp, just because that adds a little bounce to it, which I'll play without the half time, so you can hear that. That's really common in a lot of trap beats. It's just like having it go down an octave, which I did here, 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 because it's just like the same melody, but it's just delay at a lower octave. So that's a trick that you can use, because really this melody is just one chord until it gets to the end there and it adds the B, but that's just for a little extra variety. So that's the main melody. Then I also have this Electra, which is just 2 chords, which this chord's not playing again because it's just halftime. So, which it wouldn't matter, it's just the third inversion of that chord. So yeah, it just has D sharp minor over to F diminished. Then we have this one, which is just some brass sounded nexus that I added. It's just a little more ambience and just adding a little more spice to the beat. Then I just layered it on top of another nexus brass sound. This one has a lot of delay on it. Oh, that's the wrong one, shit. So yeah, and then all of those melodies are going into halftime, and then playing it as a whole song. Here's all the melodies together. So it sounds simple, even though it sounds like full, because it's all just the same notes, just arpeggiating and just layered on top of each other. So then also I lead it over to the hi-hats coming in, which is just like a triplet pattern. Which this is the same pattern as right here, except I just cut out the last measure because it's like the intro, I don't want it to sound too full yet. And then right before the drop I have this sound effect, which is just like that's too hard. Like having the hi-hat stop there, that's just 10 out of 10 trap music right there. So then once it drops, for the hook I have the original piano melody, but then just without the halftime on it. So it sounds like this for all the melodies. And then I added the 808, which is a really simple 808 line. Which this is a mistake that I see a lot of beginners making, which I don't blame them because like you have to have a decent understanding of music theory to understand this, but for my bass line, I'm not going to say it has to be on a D sharp, but I would consider it having to be on a D sharp because since I'm having all of these melodies play the same chord, arpeggiating, I have my tonic chord, which is the D sharp minor, and then I have it go up to the F diminished, right? So the D sharp minor is my bass line. Well, not bass line as in like bass, but like bass line as in like that's where everything's gonna resolve to and go back to. There's a fucking fly over there and it's raging. So there's yeah, so that's my tonic, which I'd recommend you just look up chords or something and just figure out what tonic means. Basically means that's like the home for the melody and the chord progression. So I have to have it on D sharp because that's the root of my tonic chord. And you don't want your tonic chord to really be like first or second inversion or just randomly. I mean, I guess I could put it down here and make it a B minor 7th chord, but that doesn't really stay consistent with the rest of it. So I just had it on a D sharp. Because if you have like an inverted tonic chord throughout the song, that doesn't really sound nice. Then I have some slides here. Goes up a 4th to G sharp, and then this is a cool trick I like to do. Have it slide down a note and then hit that note again. I don't know. I probably just rambled there for about that inversion thing. None of y'all probably understood it because I don't know how to explain it. But then we got the kick pattern, which just kind of complements the 808. And then this is the full hi-hat pattern. Then I have all these open hats just to complement it. I'll just play all the perks, fuck it. Which, there's a lot of them, but since it's at a slow BPM, I don't think it really sounds cluttered. Which also, if you're a beginner and you're watching this, a good way to get your drums to be like bouncy is to not really have them on like the upbeat, well the downbeat. You want them to be on the upbeat, which you can see. This one is all on just like the red areas, which is kind of what you want for bouncy drums, because like if you were in a rock song, you'd want everything to be on the downbeat, like this. But for most rap music and just like hip hop in general, you want it to be bouncier, so you want it to be on the upbeat. Most of your percussion. So then this is the whole thing together. For arrangement, I'm not really the best at arranging, but I just kind of like take parts out for what sounds good. For the hook, I have like this higher part in, because like the hook you want to be like the fullest part of the song, and then when it goes into the verse you want it to be more kind of empty with room for the rapper to rap on. then I just have certain percussion parts that come in right here. All these sounds, by the way, I mean the perks are from like, I don't know what packs they're from, but like a lot of people think they have to get like all the Nick Mirror packs for like claps and shit. Dog, I get most of my sounds from the DP kits because these are just really simple sounds that work with every beat. So I mean, a lot of producers are going to argue with me on that, but I would prefer to have sounds that really sound good together over something that's like completely unique, because just it takes so much time to find sounds that are unique that go together. But if I can get everything that sounds good originally, then I don't spend too much time on that, because if I spend too much time on the beat, then I'm just gonna think it's trash by the end. Like, if you make beats, you know what I'm talking about. If you spend 4 hours on a beat, that thing's so burned into your brain that you do not want to like hear it again, and you're just gonna say it's bad. So yeah, this is the beat breakdown right here, just a little bridge with just the melody, and then it just drops. Which for outros I like to do that. I like to have the same thing as the hook, except for like the leading element, which for the leading element of this hook it's the higher octave piano. So then I just took it out there and then it just fades out. So yeah, this has just been a beat breakdown. Hope you guys learned something. If you want me to make more videos like this, drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and join my Discord and follow me on Instagram if you wanna get some collabs done or just purchase beats or anything like that. Discord, you gotta join the Discord. That's like the greatest community for producers on the planet. So yeah, it's been Jester Beats. Hope you enjoyed, and have a snazzy one.